John, let's circle back to your story that you did this past weekend on Baylor basketball and kind of what the national championship means to a program. Obviously, the Lady Bears won 3 of them, so it was good for them in terms of. I think it really did, help in recruiting and all of that. What can it do for Scott Drew's program?
Yeah, obviously they're going to be in on higher rated recruits. I mean, they're bringing in a really good class. This is probably his highest rated class in, I'd say maybe 10 years, with Kendall Brown, Langston Love, Jeremy Sochan. But, those guys were already signed before they won the national title. Well, I think they're going to get even more and more interest, but Scott made a really good point. They can't forget the things that got them there. And that's like just teamwork, unselfishness, having veterans there, continuity, and really just doing the right things on and off the field. And so, yeah, it'll be a little different now. The guys who won that title, they were not even like a top 20 kind of class. They were just a bunch of hard workers. They were talented, but they stayed around a long time and just really played great together. And
I think it's going to be the lesson of Baylor, in the 2021 season, going to be the lesson of Baylor in that they did win a national championship and were actually dominant with that type of team. Whereas, and I know it was a pandemic affected season, but Kentucky didn't even make the tournament. Duke didn't even make the tournament. Those 5-star programs, those high-profile recruits who have one foot out the door the minute they get there, that ain't the way to go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chad. If you can keep veterans around a while, guys who like to play with each other, like are committed to playing great defense, those are the teams that are going to win.
Yeah, those one and done teams, they always have talent. And they can win a certain number of games on talent, but do they usually finish it off with the national championship? Not often, because like you said, they're all freshmen and sophomores. They haven't played together that long. Sometimes it feels a little bit more like a mishmash, collection of really talented players than it does a team.
Well, and
I think
the pre-NBA draft hype machine. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think Kentucky's the greatest example of that. They have probably the most blue chips of anybody, but they're mostly one and done guys. They just kind of throw them in there for a year. And Calipari's won 1 national title there, 2012.
And what I was going to say is that the way the pre-NBA draft hype machine works and the way that the college guys get their name kind of in that mix, it seems like you got to have a ball in your hands. And the problem is there's only one ball, So if you bring in 6 guys that want to go to the NBA, there's still only one ball,
Yeah. To me, a good NBA correlation for the one and done type teams are the Brooklyn Nets, it's the super teams, that you put together these, collection of really talented guys. And for me, watching the Nets all year, I felt like most of the time they were, when they were on the court together, because they were often not, one of those guys was usually hurt, but they didn't look to me like they were winning on team ball as much as they were winning on the fact that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and James Harden are 3 of the best offensive players, in basketball. And they can get you a shot whenever you want. Now, I will say, just to couch all that, watching them against Milwaukee these last couple games, they look like they figured it out how to play together as a team. So, some teams do get it and it clicks. And that team that you mentioned, John, that Calipari coached that won a national championship, that was one of them that did it. But I'm with you. I think it makes a lot of sense to keep older guys around. How about the impact, real quickly, before we, go on to something else, on the arena, the new arena? Is it going to have an effect?
Oh yeah, I think so. You know, recruits like new shiny things. Um, yeah, and it's going to be a really good looking field house kind of setting there. What about 7,000? I think is going to be the capacity. So it'll have I think it'll be a better home court atmosphere. I think the fans will feel like they're right on top of the players. And but yeah, that I think that's something they can kind of sell now too. And yeah, I mean everything's looking up, and I think Nikki's coming in at a good time too.
Yeah, no doubt.